Hello and welcome back to Factorio. We're picking right exactly up where we left off, where we need to start building our 4 kinds of science, and we need to have this belt down here head back down and be the equivalent here to come back up and rejoin us with the other 2 sciences, which will come from very far off to the left at some time in the future. So this top belt needs to get red and green science. Let's do that. Red and green science are super easy. Basically, I'm going to build this at the same level as our research labs, which has nothing to do with anything else we've done previously in the area. So, over here on the left, I'm going to put green science. We're going to put red on the right, but not yet. Here's where we put red. Okay. So red science requires gears. And as you all know from your years of playing Factorio, one assembly machine making gears can feed 10 assembly machines making red science. And if you don't believe me, well, it is what it is. And I am going to start putting lights in like crazy at this point, because it's hard to see. Now these guys, we're going to filter to document what they move. Now, there's actually another motivation there. Once we start putting quality in, every time I convert a machine or bus over to maybe having quality stuff on it for any reason, I want to go along that whole flow of stuff and make sure that every step along the way is okay with quality. Because, it's not always a good thing. It's not always the right thing. It's always just a thing. So coming up here, we're going to have the ingredients for red science, which are gears and copper. I'm going to skip this over here so that I can bring my copper in, you see the iron in here. So the iron comes in, that brings iron in, and that brings gears out. So we need 3 iron in per second, which I think the fast inserters at this point can do. Stack size 2, maybe not. Oh, right, this needs to be copper, not iron. The iron needs to come in down here, so I might as well just do that. Give them a little bit of that. And here's copper and here's iron. Let's go get it. So iron's on the upper one and copper is on the lower one. There we go. Now we do need to fix these up a bit. Actually, I am going to put those in like that. And once it's been put in, then I can start striping these in the easy way. Or I can just goof it up. This one is all wrong. There. And I will just make these belts. Iron comes up, gets split, turns into that, turns into that. Okay. Okay, so now take this. I need 10 total machines making red science and 12 machines making green. Bingo. For the machines making green, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right here is where we split. These guys now become our inserters. This is where we provide the belts and the inserters as input. And that is super easy, barely a problem. So from the top, I'm going to have belts. The belts are going to require gears. Inserters go here. And inserters also require gears. These all have input. We can do like that. The only difference is this guy has green chips and wants in as well. And I think I can bring them all in on one belt. So this is iron and green chips. Okay, green chips is right here. So iron is going to come in here. Green chips comes down here like that. I'm just going to run over this way until somebody catches up with me. There we go. So now if I take a look at our science production, we see that we've hit about 90 per minute on the red science. And once we get green stuff in, we'll start hitting 90 per minute on the green science as well. Let's let this run. Yep, looks about right. Very bursty. Now, despite it being kind of late at night, I'm just going to keep going with this. Next step is we need to get our blue science going. Now, we do have a blue science build that we can model from. Down here. We're going to be running at twice this scale. So if I can bring up my planner in another window, ... Once again, I let all of my tabs go away. Darn it. Victorio Lab. Game. Technologies research. I need to know what technologies are researched. Well, we've got export technologies just exactly for this. Okay. Victorio Space Age, and I am making production blue science. Where'd it go? Chemical science packs. 24 machines of chemical science packs. There we go. This is going to require 20 machines making engine units and a whole bunch of red chips and a whole bunch of sulfur. So basically it's an engine factory and stuff. So let's start off with an engine factory. We happen to have one here. And it happens to have 20 of these guys. So I plop this down. All I need to do is reverse the output line, and we'll be ready to go. So align you with him. Oh, this also needs this is going to need pipes and yeah. Let's reverse this horizontally. So this is steel coming in here, and this line needs to have pipes and screws. So your screws, and I ought to do this compactly. You are pipes. Like that. Here's iron input. I did say that I was going to be reversing this. So I think bringing the iron in on the left would be impractical. And I also think that reversing this left to right was a bad idea. So I'm going to put it back. I'm going to run this over here somewhere where I can tighten this up to here. Then grab the whole thing again. Align you with him. Okay, here's our output of engines. Oh, the engines have to go to the left, not to the right. Duh. There. Iron's coming up here. Oh, wait a minute. No, we do not have iron on there. I could do iron and steel together on that line. After all, we only need a little bit of steel. This would require... Hold on, if I did it like this... Ha ha! I am liking the fact that this is a little twisted. There's our output. We're going to grab our iron from here. I'm going to grab it with 2 of them down here because we need 3 per, like that. Separate you guys a little bit so we can put power in here and here. And then I'm going to put the last power in here. Yeah, okay. Now, if this is going to be going to the left, it should be going right across there. Which means this is our iron and steel. Steel is on this lane. There's steel. And there's iron. Yeah. I don't know why that didn't just go where I expected it. Okay, gears, pipes. Looks like it's working. Pull it all together, and this says we are doing 90 per minute, which is what we need for our 24 blue chip machines. Now, the Blue Science has the same geometry. I can just slide it in right here, literally right here. I don't even need to worry about this. These guys are going to be, let's see. Engine is the output, and the steel is the one that's on, well, let's see. This is parameter 0. Now, if I look at the Blue Science real quick, see which ingredient is which. So the third ingredient is the one that I want on the belt by itself, and that's going to be steel. So we say this guy is, whoops, this guy is parameter 0. This guy is ingredient of 0. And this guy is ingredient of 0. And this guy is the third ingredient of 0. I didn't save it. Confirm, save blueprint. If we put it down and we say Blue Science, that should configure all the inserters the way we like them. Except for some reason, engine is, never mind, engine is correct. There's engines. This is sulfur and red chips. So come down here, I'm going to do that to mark that guy. So red chips are easy, that's here. We need to get sulfur. I'm going to go ahead and just bring all of these over like this. Ditto with these. So sulfur is the top one. I'm going to go over and actually bring it back manually. There we go. So this guy's red chips, so we come from here over to there. And from here over to there. Can I get one more hop in here? Yes, I can. Now, if I've done everything right, these should turn out some blue chips. There they are, Blue Science. Blue science comes through here. Except this isn't just blue science. This has to be blue science on one side and military science on the other side. Which means I need to go from here like this. And I think I picked up blue science, which got sent back to the other stuff, so let's pick that up. Oh, no, I didn't. Guess I got lucky. Need 24 of these. So, 16x, or, well, barely over 10x, really. So what does blue science peak at? It should be running at about 90-ish. That's about 90-ish. And according to rate calculator, it is indeed 90-ish. And if I do rate calculator including the engines, everything is balanced. Okay. Next, military science. Intermediates, military science pack. So for that same 90 per minute rated, I am going to need 10 machines. And again, this has 3 inputs. So I'm going to start by putting this down. I'm going to say, you are making military science. Let's see what it does. This says I'm going to put walls on one and the other 2 on the other. Well, that's just fine with me. We only need 10 machines, so I can cut this off here. Actually, I do need to carry the medium electric poles. And as long as I'm carrying the poles, I might as well carry the lamp there as well. Well, you are here. I just got to drop you on there. I can do all sorts of things with, well, drop you in there. That's even easier. Okay, personal logistics, trash unrequested. All you guys go back. So these are walls. And this is a split belt of grenades and long-handled inserters. Walls. I've done walls. I just need to go grab it. Here we are. Walls use brick. We've got brick. And this build was a little paranoid, but it's perfectly cromulent. So I'm just going to line you up. I think what I can do, however, is like this. Brick is going to come in from the south. These guys are going to go out from the north. Now we actually need 90 walls per minute. And this actually provides us with 540. We're good. Now I could have this also provide walls into my logistics area. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to split here. You're going to go down. What level was I drawing on? I want to put all my little stock thingies at the same level here. So here. You are producing walls. And again, if we need walls, we need a lot of walls. So 4,000. Boom, boom. Brick comes down here. So we've got stone and brick and concrete. Brick is the one we want. Come on. I really want to get my core sciences all going because I've got my space science ready to go. And we want to research some things. I'm going to mark this up. I need Kovarex so I can get that going immediately. I want to get my space platform thrusters ready to go. And I need to have productivity, efficiency, speed, and quality modules researched. I am not researching those two because that would break my achievements that I want. Not doing logistic systems because I might end up building boxes by mistake. So that's as much as we can do until we pick a planet. And in reality, that doesn't, well, Kovarex may require military. Oh, Kovarex does not require military. We are already good to go for everything. It doesn't require military here. None of this needs military. We're good to go. But I do want to get military going. So the walls are there. And basically, in order to do the 90 walls we need 450 brick. This is chewing up 900 brick, I think. 30 per second by 60 divided by 2, 900, yeah. So yeah, we definitely overbuilt. So maybe in the future when we upgraded the belt to green and we've got both lanes full of brick, maybe all these will kick off. There's no real reason to pick them up though. The original build I had extra machines because I didn't have confidence in how fast I could insert the brick. Okay. Next thing is grenades and piercing rounds. Well, rather than work this out again, I've already done it once. And I think I doubled my stuff already. Let's check. This build will require 8 grenades, and this has 9 grenades. So that's good enough. This has 9 piercing round magazines, and I need 3 of them. So this is a overbuild in every possible way. So I am going to grab from here to here, all the way up through here. Is that right? That is right. This is going to slot in. Oh, I put the walls up from where they needed to be. Here. And I didn't site prep a large enough area. Now, the thing I left off here is this guy does need iron coming up on this side. I didn't hit that. And this belt right here is actually the iron supply. So I can do this. Now, this is my output. I need to move these guys down here. Like that. So that's iron. This is coal. I think that's all it is. And on this side, this is steel and copper. So down here, whoops, let's do it this way. And I also missed a belt here. This is my ammunition output belt, because I need to have the yellow ammunition to make the red. So steel and copper. There's steel, there's copper. See, coal. I'm just going to bring this down. And iron. So here's coal. So this was iron, yes? Well, that's not good. Let's get down and fix that one in person. So I'm going to need to deal with some red stuff on the sulfur side. There we go. Okay. So I see all of this tricking off. We've gotten some. I guess it's just beginning to come out now. Okay, so there's what military science is doing. It heads up to 90-ish. There we go. Everybody else kind of throttled back. Who's slowing us down to 50? Oh, none of these guys are moving anything forward. What the hey? Okay, so I'm going to have to not filter these guys. Okay. I don't know what the deal is on that. That should have worked just fine. Unless I didn't have somebody filtered that I should have, but... There. Boom. Look at the science rate go up as we handle all the science that was just sitting there. It'll come back down to 90 in a moment. Whee! Okay, with the Kovarex achievement done, hold on, tick, tick, tick. Okay. I'm going to immediately run down to our uranium area, and we need to start accumulating hot rocks so we can get our Kovarex machines going. And there's a way of doing that. Yep, up, where'd it go? It's over here. For some reason, I thought it was south. So what I want to do here is each of these machines, I'm going to read out the machine itself, and I'm going to put it there and put it there. Machine is going to say, whoops, first of all, you are making the Kovarex enrichment process. You are going to read your contents, including in crafting. And this is going to say enable if the number of hot rocks in the machine is less than 40. So you'll put in up through 40. Maybe you'll put in a couple extra, but you won't keep going after that. And this belt, we're going to enable the belt if the number of hot rocks in the machine is greater than or equal to 40. Okay. So if you don't have enough hot rocks, you will literally stop this belt until you've brought in enough. So this one was there, that one was there, that one is here. Now all of those together. Okay. Now, how are we going to get more hot rocks? Well, first of all, I'm going to steal them all. I'm going to request them all back. I'm going to wait here until I have all of them. Okay, so I've got 71 and there's none in storage. So now I can turn off logistics. And I'm just going to toss them right in here. The second thing is we stopped because basically these guys are full. And I need to get some more of these rocks, or we just need to wait. Now, I'm off by one here. So we need to stop the next one up. Okay. Like that. Okay. Those are all set. And now we unhook those guys. Actually, I don't really need to do anything more. So this machine will continue cycling, turning out hot rocks from here, which will cycle back around. I think what I'm going to do... Already input from the right, already output to the right there. So we'll have a bypass there. What happened to the rest of my hot rocks? Oh, don't tell me this is that finicky. Oh, right. So all of them but the 41 he sent out had gone down the line. So this guy has some. So these are just going to slowly get more. I think what I need to do, though, is take some of these hot rocks out and, I don't know, shoot them? What if I turn off personal logistics completely? And I am going to put down some normal boxes. In the hopes that this will let us get through this. Oh, I know how to do this. It's not doing it based on the number that are in the logistics network. It's doing it based on the number that are here. So you are doing those, right? So now I can clear out all but 3 of those by just doing this. Hold on, where are you going? Where are you going? You're going up here. Let me reclaim those. These guys are probably not within logistics network range, are they? No, they aren't. Try this again. If you delete the box where they're going, they'll pick a new target, and they'll use all the normal rules. Okay, so I was going to use Control Z to put these back in, but I should have had those set up before I did it. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run down here like this. And we are done researching. So now my priority task is getting Kovarex completely seated up so that all the machines are running. I'm not really sure what the robots are doing right now. I'm not sure why the robots are bringing it from here to over here. This is kind of scary. Well, as long as there's a whole bunch of it over here, we're good. What we need to do, though, is we need to keep processing to get more hot nuggets so that more of our Kovarex machines are going. These are nicely not overfilling. Okay. So next step. Got 5 minutes left in this recording. I am going to make some module machines. Modules require red chips, green chips, and blue chips. They do not have to be upstream of this. I can be anywhere. So I am going to start this. I'm going to start this up here. The idea is if you have two machines making a Mark I module and one machine making a Mark II module, that balances. Now, these guys all require red. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the red chips in like this. And I'm going to bring the blue chips in like that. And I'm going to bring the green chips in like that. These guys are going to be Mark I modules. We're going to do prod modules first. So Mark I productivity and Mark II productivity. Like that. There. Okay. These guys are the Mark I's. These guys are the red. These guys are the blue. And these guys are the green. Okay. Now, just because I'm ornery, let's take a look at the numbers. So per minute, 37.5 red chips per minute to do this whole thing. Okay, and 30 green chips. Number of transport belts is small. Per second, red chips are still under 1 per second, so we should be able to do a bunch of reps of this if we want. I do need to route my output here. It's too bad I didn't think of putting these a little more space in the middle. I could have had my green inputs, well, maybe, I don't think I would have had room for the, well, wait a minute, let's see if I can do that. No, that's not going to work. Okay. We'll just have to do it this way. Okay. What can I do with the output that might be a little fancier? I could use a long handle inserter here to bring it back to here, and then another inserter to put it on a belt here, which would carry it south. Or I could just use fancy boxes like this, and I could say that you are doing prod 2 modules. This will normally put 2 stacks, so 200 is good. So there's our build. Now, parameters. First parameter is this guy. Mark II module. Okay, and your first ingredient is red, your second ingredient is blue. So we go in here and we say red is the parameter, which is the ingredient of 0. And this is the parameter, which is the ingredient of 0. And this is the Mark I module, which is the third ingredient of 0. Okay. Now this guy, the first parameter is the green chip, so we're in luck. So you are the first parameter of the Mark I module. And this is G chip, and this is stock quantity. $200 of each kind of chip sounds good. We can always come back and revise it later. So if I stamp this down, I say productivity 2. This should check out. Red, green, blue, output, correct quantity, correct filter. I'm going to do down another one of you. We need a lot of prod modules. We are going to need efficiency modules, and we're going to need speed modules, and we're going to need quality modules. Okay. Column for blue chips. And column for red chips. Now, that's going to be very hard, so I'm going to reverse those. I'm going to swap them when we get up here. So we are going to make sure that we send the blue chips to the right when we get them to here, which means the blue chips are going to be going on the left-hand guy. And how did we get sulfur on the green chip line? Oh, while I was fiddling around with that, no doubt. That makes sense. There's our blue and red. And this is the green chip line. Okay, so these should start making things. But kind of slowly. Okay, now I am seeing light here that has no power. Must be fixed. And if possible, keeping this aligned so it's nice and square. There we go. So, these guys all are marked as please put productivity modules in me when you get them. And we're not going to mark anything else until they get satisfied. So, modules. We're getting some. Okay, those productivity is twice as much as the other ones because we've prioritized that by putting 2 of those down. Now, let's get these buttoned up properly. I don't like seeing these big, long expanses of buses that should just be nice and clean. What the heck was that about? And that. Oh, sometimes if I've got the speed turned up, it does weird things. Okay. And I am out of them. Okay. Well. Goodness. Helps if I turn on the personal logistics and trash unrequested. There we go. If you don't let the robots come serve you stuff, they won't serve you stuff. Now, I just noticed I had 47 hot rocks on me. So we are going to go back down and make sure those are going to the right place. First of all, let's stop by here and make sure it's not delivering hot rocks here. That's good. Now, with me requesting them, it would have been pulling out of there and giving them to me by priority, and that's not good. There was only 47 of them. And notice we've got the 4th machine going here. I might not even need the thing that stops the bus. I don't know. It's kind of a neat safety mechanism, just in case we're getting a lot more hot rocks through than I can pick up. It will stop it so I can grab them so they don't sneak by. Okay. I think we're done here. We have done all of the research that we want to do. I suppose now is the time to pick the next assignment. Fulgora Plateaus, windswept, dreary lands. It's basically oceans and oceans of heavy oil and a lot of scrap that you pick up and recycle. And the things you open up there are you've got recyclers, which basically turn things into their component parts. Most things, if they're built in an assembler or such, it will run the recipe in reverse and give you back a quarter of the ingredients. Some things turn into a quarter of themselves. So if you put iron ore in, you get back a quarter of the iron ore. Now the nifty thing is if you put quality modules in them, you stand a chance of getting back the ingredients at a higher quality. Now on Fulgora, the way you get stuff is you pick up scrap and you recycle it into a dozen different things, or 20 different things, or how many ever things it is. And you keep the stuff you want, and the stuff you don't want, you continue recycling down. It's the reverse of everywhere else. Next thing you unlock is holmium processing, where you're getting holmium ore as a rare from recycling. You turn it into holmium fluid, and that turns into holmium plate. And then you can make electromagnetic plants, which are a major export from Fulgora, along with the other stuff you see there. That would be superconductors and supercapacitors. You don't export the fluid. And then finally, you've got the science pack. So that gets you electromagnetic science. And that unlocks mech armor, which is extraordinarily useful. And Tesla weapons, which are extraordinarily useful. Tesla weapons are my favorite way of dealing with the worms on Vulcanus. Now let's take a look at what Vulcanus unlocks. You get to Vulcanus, and it's got calcite, and you get calcite and tungsten. Make tungsten carbide, and you learn how to make foundries. Foundries are really, really awesome. On Vulcanus, you just feed them lava and get stuff out. Elsewhere, you feed them ore and calcite, which you have to import, and you can still get the molten metals, and it's still great. Big mining drills are awesome anywhere. Foundries and mining drills, I believe you have to make them on Vulcanus, but you export them. And then you make tungsten steel, and you get back the metallurgic science packs, which open up the following. Better coal liquefaction, productivity for LDSs, cliff explosives, and turbo transport belts are great. Rail support foundations means that your rails on Fulgora can now go out over the oceans, which is really great. And elsewhere too, but Fulgora is where that really, in my mind, absolutely pays off. And asteroid reprocessing. So I think I'm going to go to Fulgora first. We're going to commit to that. Boom. So while we're researching Fulgora, I'm going to head back here. Back to the main bus. And I guess in our next recording, we're going to start thinking about the ship that we need to get us to Fulgora and the products that we want to carry with us when we get there. And I'm thinking that before I do the next recording, I am going to basically vamp until we are producing more nuclear fuel. We have a lot on the line here. These guys can shut down all they want, until the steam gets low, and then they come back up and look at all the fuel they've got available. That's tons. If I really have to, I can manually grab some of this. Although I'd rather not. Anyway, I will let that run until the Kovarex processes are all started. That's a way overkill, by the way. One Kovarex machine can turn out enough hot rocks to run 33 reactors. I'm running 6. We'll have enough hot rocks to build a lot of nuclear weapons if we want. Anyway, I will see you in the next recording.